Guys, good morning po sa ating mga kababayan dyan, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Maging sa ating mga kababayan dyan abroad, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali at magandang gabi sa inyo mga kababayan. Ito ipakinggan natin ang interview sa ating mahal na Pangulo na si President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. sa New York mga kababayan after his speech sa UN Convention mga kababayan sa Women's Day mga kababayan. So ito pakinggan natin ang kanyang interview sa
direct ownership investment in the Philippines.
Okay, ulitin natin mga kababayan.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, for your remarks and obvious support of investment in the Philippines. In your speech, you discussed the fact that the Philippines is now allowing full foreign direct ownership in companies providing public.
Ayan po, full force ownership of mga foreign companies ang kanyang pinag-usapan dito mga kababayan. So tingnan natin kung ano ang sagot ng ating mahal na Pangulo mga kababayan.
Infrastructure. How important is foreign direct investment into achieving those economic plans of yours, Mr. President?
Well, it
should be on.
Certainly, as we attempt to transform the economy, and I use the word transform because it is my belief that the way to bring our economies back to the level of activity that we enjoyed before the pandemic, we have to understand that the global economy has changed, and we have to position ourselves certainly to be able to take advantage of those changes, to have a head start in the new economy that we are still, as of now, starting to form globally. And a large part of that will be foreign investment in the Philippines. And when I speak of foreign investment, I speak especially of capital-intensive investment. Because although we have our GDP, if we look at our GDP figures, a great deal of the contribution to GDP has been in our service sector. And therefore, we think that it is manufacturing, the area of manufacturing where we can still do a better job. And this is one way, the foreign direct investment, capital-intensive investment is also something that we are going to actually need for us to be able to achieve the targets that we have set for our economy, have set for our country, and it is going to be key as we are trying to define or determine the mix between loans and capital-intensive investment. So the part that capital-intensive investments play is going to be a very important aspect of this transformation of our economy that I speak of. So that is a large part of what we are doing here, and that is why when I came here to New York, ostensibly, first of all, because we are attending I will be speaking before the UN General Assembly tomorrow, but I also brought the whole economic team of the government, of the cabinet, with...
May commercial pa mga kababayan. Wala pa, skip.
Again, the private sector business leaders also are here with us precisely to show and explain once to our prospective investors where the Philippines is headed, what changes we have made so that investment will be more profitable and more attractive for foreign investors, especially coming from the United States. So it plays a central role in all that we are planning to do for our economy. It is once again something that we recognize in government we have a part to play in. We have to fundamentally restructure the bureaucracy, the government, We listen to the chambers of commerce that tell us what are the obstacles that they find that in their way, such as the ease of doing business, the prices of energy, all of these and these other legislative guarantees that investors are looking for. And I believe we are headed in the right direction. And I believe that if we continue down this road and we are able to attract investors to this new investing climate that we are starting to create in the Philippines, then I believe that with the role that foreign direct investment will play, I think we could succeed. But that just illustrates how important we consider that investment to the transformation of our economy.
Three themes in particular. One was, of course, foreign direct investment, but you also touched on the United States and it being one of the most important investors in the Philippines. Now, the United States and the Philippines have long enjoyed a very productive relationship and partnership. Can you talk a little bit about that partnership and how you see it going forward?
Well, our relationship has gone back for over 100 years between the United States and the Philippines, and as we just earlier today we had a lunch that was hosted by the U.S. Philippine Society, and I spoke to them and we talked perhaps more on the subject of geopolitics, and I explained that it is very clear to me in my vision for the way that the country will move forward, that I cannot see the Philippines in the future without having the United States as a partner. And although I was referring to the geopolitics of it, and I was referring to the political situation in the region and around the world, that certainly does continue to apply in our exchanges in the economic front. And many of the drivers of our early economy were actually American corporations. Many of the strongest corporate benefactors really to government and to the rest of society in the Philippines were coming from the United States. Now, of course, this has evolved as time has gone on, but the strength of that relationship continues, and we envision a further strengthening of those relationships. I believe that the political, economic, diplomatic relations that we make, the partnerships that we forge that we strengthen now, are going to be extremely necessary for the simple reason that they provide the stability in this highly unstable economic, political, geopolitical, diplomatic environment. This is something that is central to our thinking when it comes to the economic planning for the Philippines. So again, we have adjusted many of our ways of doing business at the behest of our friends in the United States and of the American businesses that are already in the Philippines. And so I think that will give us great opportunities in the future, and for both our countries, for private corporations, for government to government agreements and arrangements. We have really opened up the policy of the Philippines to more of these public-private partnerships, but not only PPPs, but also G2G arrangements, as I mentioned, joint venture between private entities, and it is something that we feel can actually be achieved. So the United States has always been central to that. I cannot overstate really the role that the United States has played in the Philippines in every aspect of our lives, and so this is just a continuing evolution and I believe strengthening of that relationship between the United States and the Philippines, and we are driven together in many ways by forces that exist now in the world, and that I think is something that is not that we certainly in the Philippines, and I think not in the United States either, that we are resistant to. So it is something that we can I can see as becoming stronger and becoming more robust as we work together towards exploiting properly the new global economy.
So narinig niyo mga kababayan ang explanation ng ating mahal na Pangulo na una na hinihikayat niya ang mga investors na mumuhunan sa atin kasi nga may rightful ownership na sila sa kanilang mga pinatayong mga negosyo, infrastructures o anuman mga kababayan. So isang kagandahan yan mga kababayan ay maraming investors at maraming jobs na opportunity sa ating mga kababayan. At ganoon din mga kababayan ang ating partnership sa Amerika. Siyempre talagang matagal na yan. Yun nga 100 years, more than 100 years na mga kababayan ng ating partnership sa Amerika kaysa China mga kababayan. So nakita naman natin na ang suporta ang Amerika sa Pilipinas at ganoon din ang ating bansang Pilipinas na suporta din sa bansang Amerika, lalo na po sa mga ating military, sa ating mga kagamitan sa military mga kababayan, mga exercises sa EDCA mga kababayan. So we are proud that our president are capable to answer that in that kind of questions. At makita natin mga kababayan na talagang matalino ito ang ating presidente, hindi lang sa politika pati sa negosyo mga kababayan. Kaya patuloy nating pagdasal na bigyan siya ng mahabang buhay pa, bigyan siya ng magagandang advisor, at higit sa lahat ang kanyang kalusugan, ang kanyang pamilya, at higit sa lahat mga kababayan ay bigyan pa siya ng katalinuhan na nagagaling sa ating Panginoong Diyos, na patuloy siyang bigyan ng wisdom at maging ang kanyang mga advisor na ikabubuti sa bayan natin. Sige mga kababayan, please comment down below. Maraming salamat po sa inyong mga panunood mga kababayan. Please like and share. Bye bye.